I'm not typically a speaker at these things. I'm a real estate investor, right? Yeah, so, hey, thank you, ma'am. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The best builder I know in Birmingham, Matthew Gregory.
Yay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey guys, what's going on?
King Flipper.
That's right, man. So the reason I'm here is I love real estate, and I guess everybody in this room probably loves real estate, right? Yes. What I was thinking is I really would love to save you guys some heartache and some time, maybe answer some questions. How does that sound? Yes? That can be tricky, right? Our first one, like I mentioned earlier, is a FHA, owner-occupied property, so it was a little easier with that, but buying as investment property, it can get more difficult. So there's private money out there, there's hard money. If you have the right deal, I feel like money is probably the easiest part to find. You know, I even partner with people sometimes, but the way we do it now is, thankfully, we've done pretty well and been able to save up some capital, and we finance most of our own deals, and we also have credit lines at this point and things like that. But you know, it's kind of hard to, if you don't have money to buy your first deal, it's kind of hard to hear me mention we've got cash and credit lines and all this. So I think as your first deal, private money, local banks, man, I've never really borrowed money from private investors but one. So what we've always done is I tried to become bankable as fast as I could. So we always try to keep really solid credit and, you know, claim income on your tax return, which is hard to do. It's, you know, no one likes paying taxes, but you know, in order to get yourself in a place to where you can build a business, you might have to do things like that. Probably go with something a little easier. Like lately I've been on this kick where I've been buying, like, you know, maybe 15 to 20-year-old garden homes and townhomes. That's probably what I would really focus on, because you can get those back on the market really fast right now, right? Because we need inventory, and the faster you get something back on the market, the better right now. What my fear is always is you take on some big project and it's gonna take you 4 or 5 months, and then like the market changes, interest rates go up. You never know what's gonna happen, right? No, seriously, like it could be, you know, especially with me, because I've got millions of dollars in flips out all the time. So I'm always thinking about these things. I do like the idea of the quicker rehabs right now. For a newer investor, I would probably focus on that. I'm trying to get myself in front of the seller anytime I can, and I just kind of play it by ear. Like I watch their expression, like while I start talking, and I try to work that number as low as I can. You might have to just walk away. Because, you know, the last thing I would do is overpay right now, because I'm overpaying for some, I really am. And thankfully, I'm catching it back up when they sell, because people are crazy right now. I would be cautious not overpaying. Right now, I know that, like, you know, the office will call me and say, hey, you just bought this house and this house and this house. What do you think they'll sell for? And I'm like, I'm just pulling numbers out of thin air. And hell, they're pulling it, man. Like, it's crazy. Like last week, I listed one of these easy garden homes I just mentioned. It pulled like 75 grand over list with appraisal gaps. And I had 3 buyers at the same offer. And so I took those other 2 buyers and put them on other houses I had in that same area. So I'm like cleaning up back to back to back. So it's hard to evaluate deals right now. It is for me. My goal is to make sure that I'm in it for obviously less than what I'm gonna sell it for. And hopefully I'll have some margin to make profit. Discount, right? Motivated seller. That's really what you're looking for. And then, you know, right now you can stretch that comp a little bit to where I like to stay in one area for a while too. So I know that even if I don't hit a lick on that one house, if I stay in that neighborhood for a few months, I'll start building on all those comps. There's many cases where I've done 10 houses in one neighborhood, and maybe the first house didn't go as well as I'd hoped, but on that 10th house, we're all making money. So yeah, on the buy side, you want to buy it right, and appraisers are stretching that amount right now, and buyers are buying with appraisal gaps, and that's making a big difference. And people are paying cash right now too. So even if you're over that appraised value, you can still probably move the house right now. But that's not normal, and I'd be careful kind of banking on that. So, I think it's all about treating people right and treating people good, right? So, I've got the same first crew that I had probably 16 years ago, maybe, yeah. So I still have that same crew, and then I've just built on top of that. So treating people right is important. Building a team. Now, I lose my cool a lot, so I get myself in trouble sometimes. So, trying to treat my guys as good as possible. I feel like the way I've done it is I'm their landlord a lot of times, I'm their banker, I'm their pastor, I'm their brother, I'm their dad. Hell, I'll be their mother. Whatever I gotta do to get it done, right? So I think, trying to get good people around you, paying them right. Because people are money motivated. They really are, and I've learned that. So I've got a couple of those. I know, I really do. Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddie Krueger lived there. It was pretty serious. Right when the market was about to tank, I had a great idea of letting my dad invest some money in me flipping. And I used his 80 grand to buy this house. And I bought a house in Roebuck on Elm Street. And I'd already flipped a few on that same street, and they went great. I was like, Dad, this is a no-brainer. Wire me your money. It's a no-brainer because I'm scaling here, right? Like I'm in a good position, then the market tanks, right? And I was like, damn it. You could see the writing on the wall. The house is on the market. It's not selling. And all the feedback is I'm overpriced. I ended up keeping that house for 2 years. We're spoiled right now, and I hope you guys, make the best of it right now, but this is not normal. It really isn't. Back in the day when a house sold in the first 2 months on the market, I was excited. Now, if it doesn't sell in the first 2 days, everybody's like, what is wrong, right? Like what's happened here? Have I lost my mojo? Is it overpriced? So I turned about maybe 6 or 7 flips into rentals as fast as I could, and I called a loan officer. I said, dude, I need to refi now. And I refied as many as I could. Thankfully, I did that because I would have been in a mess if I hadn't have. Because, I saw a lot of strong investors, strong builders, dropping like flies. Guys who had been in the business for years, who had made a lot of money, they were dropping like flies. So just know that, this market can change at the drop of a hat. I don't think this is gonna change like it did in 08, but I'm just saying, you never really know. So I would always try to be cautious. I wouldn't ever get in over your heads. What else I learned on my Elm Street house is that I was being cheap and I didn't put a roof on this house. And dude, you pulled up and you saw it needed a roof. And all my feedback was it needed a roof. And I'm like, somebody's gonna notice that it doesn't need, not notice it needs a roof, right? We're gonna be okay. And the day I decided to just bite the bullet and spend the $4 grand and put a roof on it, it sold the next day. So I was like, did I just waste 2 years of my life? If it smells like it's got mold to you, it's gonna smell like it's got mold to everybody else, right? If the window walking to the front door is cracked and you're hoping people don't notice it, they're gonna notice it. If the house needs it, just do it. I think that I would give exactly what I've said. I think that I would take your business seriously. I wouldn't necessarily want to get everything in order. Almost like to have a kid, you might not be ready to, like people wait until they're ready to have a kid, and then at times maybe just getting in there and starting probably is what I would recommend. For us, it's very rewarding, and 45, that's really a blessing, right? It's a miracle. So for us, it's been worth it. Yeah.
You guys, give a round of applause.
Yes, thank y'all.